Hello. Um, Hi, this is Win from Artbeat Studio. And sorry about the technical difficulties we had earlier. Trying to find a way where I can show you guys everything that's on the counter. And because today we are baking and we're making some very easy bread. I'll just grab here to show what the ingredients are. And thanks to Marissa for posting the ingredients earlier on today. So let's see. We're making a fry bread, because we don't have time for all the sourdough breads out there. Okay, I'm trying to find a spot. This is very tough. This is my first live video, so we can see, I can see how all the, okay, so maybe, okay, this here will work. Okay, so, let's go through the ingredients. First, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We just buy any flour from any store. Sometimes, that's not French. This one's all-purpose, enriched and pre-sifted. Sometimes we use the baking one, pastry and cake ones. That one worked as well. And cups of lukewarm water. I just ran the water from the tap, and I have it sitting here. And we need 1 1/4 cup of that. And 2 tablespoons of baking powder. So I just bought just baking powder that I actually just have in my pantry. So I actually didn't buy anything for this recipe, which is great about this recipe because everything is you can find in your pantry and in your cupboards, and you can have breads for days. And the last thing we need is salt. So here's my table salt. I like to put things in little jars and label them. And then last thing we need is 2 teaspoons of oil. So I'm using canola oil, but the recipe said you could use vegetable oil or shortening works best, and then a few tablespoons to fry. And for frying, I have 2 types. So here's the cast iron, which is the best for this. But for those of you who don't have, we also have just a regular pan. And so we will fry up some of that for you as well. So let me grab a bowl and let's get started. First I'm going to dry this bowl because it's a little bit wet here. Alright, so see, first is some flour. I have 1 cup here that I had taken out already. So we need 2 cups. So here's 1. And obviously we need measuring cups and measuring spoons. So you can pick that up at your local dollar store, I'm sure. And here I'm going to get another cup. So what you want to do is you want to put it in and fill it, and then just take off the top here. So it'll be packed but not overfilling. So you have something that's like nice and flat like this. Get out, get out. Okay, it's all out. So we want to, so flour's in. Then we want salt, which is 1 teaspoon. So I grab my measuring spoons. So 1 teaspoon. Hi Brady, I see you're watching. So 1 teaspoon of salt in, and baking powder. And baking powder, we need, I'm really bad with recipes, so let's take a look. 1 tablespoon. So tablespoon is the biggest spoon in your measuring spoons there. So same thing with the flour. So you just want to sift it off like this, nice and flat. And then we want to mix it together. So we can use a fork, which I will grab. So we want to mix this all in so it's nice. And you can't see the difference. You can't see the powder from the flour, from the salt. So you just want to get that going like this. And then 2 teaspoons of canola oil. So here's my teaspoon, and here's my oil. this is gonna be tricky because this is a really big bottle and this is a very little spoon. Steady hand. So you want to fill that? 1 and 2. Now the recipe calls for add most of the water. I would say we will add the water slowly, as so we don't get it really sticky and really wet. So I'm gonna, this is 1 cup of lukewarm water. I'll just slowly put it in. So the consistency you want is like really sticky, like kind of like pizza dough. If you ever make like your own pizza dough. So you want to go in. Okay, I definitely need some more water. You just want to mix it until it gets all sticky and tacky, and then they want you to knead it for a few minutes. But let's see here. Oh. It actually feels really nice. There we go. Just gonna use my hands right in there now, just to get that going, just to get the knead on. Okay, it's really sticky. But that's good, because that's what they want. Well, that's what they're asking for. Okay, so I'll keep going. Hopefully your dough is turning out just like this. So it's like kind of sticky, but actually it's a lot sticky. You know, baking is very technical. It's a very technical skill. I'm normally not a baker. I'm more of a cook. And there's a big difference between that, because as a cook, I just look at recipes and read them and then do whatever I want to do. But baking, that does not work so well. So my recipe has now turned off. So now we can just wing it, which is probably not a good idea. But yeah, so we want to do this, and then you're supposed to let this rest for 30 to 60 minutes. But lucky for us and the magic of television, I already have one already for us. So let's put this aside after you knead it, and it's like sticky like this, and leave it in a greased bowl. So I'm just gonna grease this bowl actually. I'll grease this bowl and we'll just leave it in here. Oh, in here. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'll be back. Okay, I'm just gonna grease this bowl a little bit because I'm gonna leave this in here. There it goes. So you're just gonna put a little oil in, probably another bowl, but I decided to use the same bowl, and that's okay too. Then we're just gonna leave this greased and then leave this to rest for 30 to 60 minutes. Okay. And here I had made another one earlier. So so this bowl I received it as a gift, and I call it my Lucille bowl because Lucille Bart, the retired executive director of RB Studio, made this bowl and gave it to me for my birthday last year. So to bowl for everything, it's great. Put it in the oven, microwave, probably not the stove top, but everything else great. So we want to get our counter going, because we're gonna roll out this dough. So I like to flour the counter. So just some flour that I've taken out here from the bag. Flour. And then we take out the dough. Just gonna check one thing here. Okay, so first we're gonna divide into 6 pieces. So you could use a knife or a fork. No, probably not a fork. A knife or something like that. But I'm just using. I think this is a dough cutter. I think I bought a Dollarama because I thought it looked really cool, and I was probably gonna use it for something like cheese. But I think this is a dough cutter. So so they wanted to divide into 6 pieces. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that little one's very tiny. This is for somebody else to eat. Okay, so let's take 1 piece. I'll put the rest back into my bowl. It is a Lucio bowl. I was just talking about that. So we have 1 piece, and now the piece, because you have a nice floured countertop or a space here, it's not sticky anymore. And so I do have a rolling pin. So we can roll this out and roll it very thin and into a flour. And so sometimes we like to flour the rolling pin as well. And so you take one and you make it into a ball. Okay, and then we're going to roll this out very thinly, like tortillas. These are also very good as tortillas. I've used this recipe as like pizza dough, or like a very nice crispy pizza, for a nice crispy pizza. So I'm fairly bad at using a rolling pin. Let's try this again. If you don't have a rolling pin, a bottle will work as well. Nice handle, you can hold and you can roll it. If I am, this is my second attempt, and if it goes poorly, I will call in some help to roll this, okay? So here it is as a ball. Flour rolling pin. This is very heavy. And maybe I should try it with a bottle. Or maybe if you don't have a rolling pin, what I've done the first time, because we did not have a rolling pin, or it just wasn't here with us, we just sort of flatten it out. So you don't need all the fancy gadgets and such like that. You can just... Oh, hi James. Hi Marissa. Thank you for joining us. But I've been able to just flatten it out like this as well. But the problem is, obviously, you don't get that thinness that you would like. But I used to make a lot of pastry with my mom. And we would have like dough and such like this, and my job was to roll the stuffing, and also to make the dough to put the stuffing in. So here's one. So should we go fry this? So I'm gonna call him Kevin, because Kevin's the fry guy. Kevin's my boyfriend. And he actually made the first one. Here's Kevin.
Hi, folks.
And he is going to fry up this piece of bread as I roll out some more. And I could just grab it. So actually, I'm going to roll another one, because Kevin's going to fry one on the skillet, and he is going to fry one on just a regular pan for those who don't have a cast iron skillet. And I'm going to apologize again for my bad rolling. I don't know why.
Looks wonderful.
That rolling pin just doesn't work. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with that rolling pin.
You can make it whatever shape you want.
Yes, you can make it into a nice heart shape. Here's mine going. Okay, I'm gonna flour another one, and then I'm going to make another one so we can fry it on a regular pan for those who don't have the skillet. So, hope everybody's having a good Friday. It's Friday already. Yay! Except if you're in quarantine and working from home like I am. Friday, Monday, Saturday, all kind of just meshed together. So, maybe I'll try it with a bottle. Maybe this will be better. Or I could just actually get some.
Do you want to flour the bottle?
Oh, I have to flour the bottle. That might help. Can I have some flour? So I'll take some flour, and apparently you're supposed to flour the bottle. But how does the flour stay on there? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so oh, so flouring the bottle really works. Here we go. So, you know, if you don't want to go to the store to get bread, you can make your own bread just like this. And really, there's only like 4 ingredients, and you can just make this anytime, and the bread is amazing because who doesn't love fried bread? Or fry anything, really. Okay, so Kevin's just getting so you just put some oil in.
And then I turn them to almost maximum, but not quite, because we don't want to burn it.
Okay.
But if the temperature is too low, then when you put it in the oil just gets absorbed into the bread, which
Yes.
you don't want. So about medium high.
This one's really thin.
That's okay.
Okay. So I hope everybody heard that. So you want your heat to be medium.
Medium high.
Medium high.
Okay, I'm going to try this one.
Okay, he's putting
see.
one in. Let's bring the camera. Do that like that. I can't see it. Oh. Where am I showing it? Oh, there it is.
Perfect.
Until my phone drops in there, and that'd be. So he's gonna fry that one, and then he's setting up to fry the other one as well. I'm gonna have to redo this because there's holes all over. So obviously the hardest part is rolling out the dough for me. I'm sure others who have been really good at baking, rolling dough is not the biggest problem here. Okay, I'll just use my hands. You know what? You don't even need any special rolling technique. Let's just use your hands.
And when it starts to cook on the one side, you just want to keep checking to see if it's turning a nice golden brown, which it's starting. And it'll start to bubble actually as well.
Okay, so you want to check your pan frequently. And when it gets brown on one side, you can really see. Let me just do this, and then I'll bring it over there. So I'm trying to get
So I
it to
don't
be a
know if
little
you
bit
folks
bigger.
can see, but it's slowly turning golden brown on this side, which is just about ready to flip.
Okay, let me just, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pop this one in the regular pan.
Okay, and I'm gonna switch this over, and then so you guys can come and see as well.
So this one, it looks ready to flip.
So Kevin's gonna flip this one. Look at that brown. Ooh. And then this one's in the regular pan with some oil, and you can see it bubbling.
And it's a wonderful bread because you can use it to dip into soups. You can use it for curries. If you're making a nice saucy curry, you can dip it in there and it'll suck up the flavor.
Or you could just eat it by itself. like I usually do.
You can put some peanut butter on it. So this one's turning gold already.
Wow, that's a lot faster.
So if you have a regular pan, you will really want to keep an eye on how quickly it turns brown.
Ooh, looks like an omelet. Ooh, I bet you this would be really good
This
for
one's
breakfast
just
too.
about done. You got to be careful with the cast iron so that you don't burn it. This one's already probably turning gold on that side. This one's might be done sooner. I'm just going to plop them on the counter after.
Yeah.
That's alright.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to turn this heat off.
Oh, it looks like the cast iron one's done. Ooh.
So you want to get it just before it burns, obviously. That's what the finished product should look like.
Ooh.
So it doesn't take long and should be cooked right throughout. This one will give another minute.
Yeah, so you know, you could use it as taco shells, maybe. That'd be really yummy. Let's see how this one turns. We've used it as pizza toppings. We've used it to dip in soups. But so it's very delicious.
Very basic ingredients.
And very basic ingredients that everybody just has. Cooking is definitely an art as well. So, ooh.
And here's the second one.
Oh, here it comes. One day when they create smell-o-vision, then we can all smell everything that is through your screen. I wish you guys were here to smell this. It smells
And
delicious.
if you folks need a set of extra hands when you are baking this, Win is probably the best roller in the entire world.
I will come to eat. So here's our finished product. It's hot, but I'm just gonna wait for a bit before I tear it open with my hands. Let me just clean this up quickly. But yeah, so here it is, fried bread, delicious. Ooh, nice, delicious. And if you want the rest of the like the recipe, like how to make it, we will post that. But the ingredients are there, and just watch this video and don't roll the way I roll. Well, I mean just this part. Everything else you can roll the way I roll, but so it's really delicious. And so that's it for today. If you want to know more about Artbeat and what we do, you can check us out at www.artbeatstudio.ca. And stay well and create, even if it's cooking. Cooking's great. See ya.